Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and oh my god. On one hand, I kind of regret waiting for the Seltzer Iowa poll to drop before making my house prediction, and on the other, I don't. Because this is so unbelievably confusing. We had like an hour beforehand, Emerson come out with their Iowa poll of R plus 10. And then it came, and what the hell happened? Harris up by 3. A 7-point gain from the poll we saw in September. What? I'm so confused, and like, I don't even know what to say. So I'm just gonna do this house prediction. I don't even know if my Senate prediction and my governor predictions are just completely invalidated right now, and this prediction is gonna be invalidated, but I'm just gonna say screw it. I'm gonna do my best, and who knows if the consensus is that like everything needs to be overruled now that that poll just came out, then sure, I'll redo everything on election day. But as of now, this is my current somewhat modified house prediction after that absolute freaking nuke of a poll. Yeah, so let's just start off with the talk of the hour, or the state of the hour, and it's the state of Iowa. First of all, I did not want to go over every single like 435 House race, so I just filled in the most safe and most likely House races. That puts the Democrats at 194, the Republicans at 199, 42 House races left that we will be characterizing here, and yeah, let's get into it. So, Iowa. This poll just bodes so well for Iowa Democrats. I don't know how that's gonna go. Both of these districts I had as kind of like toss-ups, although I will say that I think that none had a better chance of getting unseated than I think that Miller Meeks had. I think Iowa's third has a better chance of going blue than Iowa's first, but as of now, honestly, I think that both of them do. I think Iowa's third goes blue, but it goes lean D, like D+1, and then Iowa's first goes tilt D, so like D plus 0.5. If that Seltzer poll is correct, then we are in for something crazy in Iowa, and like both of these are lean. This one borderline likely, I think, but as of now, this is where I've got Iowa. It could change. I think that Iowa's first could go either way, but as of now, this is where I see it. Going to the state neighboring that, Nebraska, the incumbent Don Bacon is in a horrible spot because he supported first of all, he was just in a bad spot the whole time, and then he supported a bill to remove Nebraska's proportional voting for president, which is extremely unpopular. It didn't get passed. I don't know why he supported it, because it basically killed him, and I believe he's going to lose by around 2 to 3 points. Next, going up top to Wisconsin, there is one competitive district here. It is Wisconsin's third, and I believe that the incumbent actually showed up and gave his closing remarks on TV drunk the other day, which was kind of funny, but I believe he's going to win re-election by around like 3 points. So I believe it's going to be lean, which is an improvement from 2020, but I don't think it's enough. He could lose. It's certainly possible, but I just do not think it is enough. Going over to the state next to it, the state of Michigan, there are 3 competitive House races there. 2 of these incumbents are like strong Democratic powerhouses, and they are leaving office. I believe Michigan's 8th is going to be lean D, while Republicans actually get a pickup in Michigan's 7th, with it being tilt R. And then for John James districts, I believe he is slowly starting to run away with it, and I believe he will win re-election by around a point or 2. And next for the state of Maine. This one is kind of a weird one because they have ranked choice voting, and it's kind of hard to see how it'll go. Jared Golden is an electoral powerhouse there. However, his policy on assault rifles has kind of alienated him from a lot of like conservatives. So it's hard to tell if he will win. But as of now, I think that he barely ekes it out. And with ranked choice voting, I believe he wins by lean D. Next to Connecticut, I believe this race is also lean D. This is the most conservative-leaning district in Connecticut. There was some like controversy surrounding the incumbent, but I just do not think it will be enough. And yeah, I think it'll be lean D. Now on to New York, the state that cost Democrats their House majority in 2022. Starting off here in New York's first, Frank LaLauda is facing an actual strong opponent, and I believe it will be lean R. He's actually going to face quite the challenge here, which he did not in 2022. So I believe it'll be like R plus 5, maybe R plus 4. Next, coming down here, I believe up here, this is George Santos's former district. It has just, ever since their special election to replace him, it has shifted to the left considerably fast. I believe they will re-elect their Democratic incumbent by a solid margin, around like 10 points. And then right below, this is a flip from 2022. And there was some like controversy around the incumbent, Desposito, and like how he mismanaged his funds. I think he cheated on his wife or something. But yeah, I believe it's going to be like D plus 4, something like that. Next, for these four, first of all, Pat Ryan, he is an incredibly strong incumbent. I believe he will win re-election by a bit more than 5 points. Next, coming down here, I believe Mike Lawler, he would have lost re-election, but the Democratic nominee isn't very good. And the Working Families Party has split has like spoiled the vote because they nominated someone else. So I believe it will be tilt R. Next up here in New York's 22nd, I believe this is another flip. I think it's going to be lean D, like D plus 3. Yeah. And then here, Mark Molinaro is facing a strong opponent, and I believe it will flip for, I think, Josh Riley. He's just falling behind considerably, and I think it will be a tilt D race. He's getting outspent. He's falling behind. And yeah, I think he could certainly win, but this is another flip from the Democrats, or for the Democrats. Next, down in New Jersey, there's one competitive race here. It could be a decent flip for Democrats. However, I just do not think it will be enough. The like Keene family is like really like big in New Jersey, and I believe that they will hold the seat. The incumbent will hold the seat. In Pennsylvania, there are 3 competitive congressional districts. First here, in Pennsylvania's 10th, Scott Perry is facing a strong opponent in Janelle Stelson. And I believe it is going to be a close race. I think it is going to be under 5, maybe even like closer to 3. I think I've got it at around 3. And I think that's where it's going to end up being. This could be a possible pickup for Democrats, but I just do not think it will be there. Up top here, we have 2 strong Democrats that are fighting for re-election in Matt Cartwright and Susan Wild. I believe they will both win re-election by lean margins. They're just really strong incumbents, and I believe they can pull it out. Now moving down to Virginia, there are 2 competitive races. One will be lean Democrat, the other will be lean R. The Democratic nominee here is not very good in Virginia, here in Virginia 7th, to replace Abigail Spanberger. I believe they will win by around like 1 to 2 points. It's just not really like that good of a performance, but I do still think they will win. Down here, Jen Kiggins, she is a strong Republican incumbent after flipping the seat in 2022. And I believe that she will hold on to it by around 3 to 4 points. I'd probably have it as R plus 4. Now in North Carolina, Don Davis is just completely running away with the race. I believe it will be just under likely Democratic, like D plus 4, just because like Mark Robinson, first of all, he's just going to help Democrats across the board, especially down ballot from him. I believe he is going to help Democrats and like push Don Davis forward. Also, his opponent has just kind of been falling behind. And yeah. And I believe we are done with the East Coast. Democrats are at 209 seats. The Republicans are at 207. Now let's go to Colorado. So there are 2 competitive races here. There's Colorado's 8th, which I believe Democrats will win. Yadira Caraveo. She barely won in 2022. I believe she will hold on to it by a lean margin. It could go down to tilt. I've got it as like D plus 1, D plus 1.5. and I believe it will stay there. Next for Colorado's 3rd, I believe this will be Lean R. It was extremely close in 2022. Lauren Boebert only won re-election by like 500 votes, and because of that, she decided she was going to avoid another close election, and she was going to carpetbag over to another Colorado congressional district, kind of avoiding Adam Frisch, who almost beat her. And this time, Adam Frisch is running against Jeff Hurd, and I believe Jeff Hurd will win. I could see an upset here, but I just do not think it will be enough. I think it will be around like R+3. Now down to New Mexico. This is a like lean Democratic race. I think it is a flip from, it was a flip in 2022 for Democrats from 2020, and I believe they will hold on to it. Next, moving to Arizona. I believe Arizona's 6th is going to tilt to the Republicans, but that's just because of a slight tilt, like a slight shift to the right from 2022 in Arizona. However, in Arizona's 1st, I think this will be a flip. The incumbent, David Schweikart, I believe will lose re-election to Amish Shah, mainly because of his comments. He said that like abortion is like disrespectful or something. It was just horrible, and it is not it reflected positively in the minds of moderate Arizona voters, and I believe he will lose re-election by 1 to 2 points. I'd probably say 2 points. Next, in Nevada, Democrats have gerrymandered this state, and they've gerrymandered it well. I believe every single one of these districts will be likely Democratic. They were barely below likely Democratic in 2022, and I believe Nevada will be completely to the left of where it was in 2022. Republicans have completely abandoned any of these districts in terms of funding. I do not believe presidential turnout will be enough to even get these races to below 5. I believe all of them will be around D+6. Maybe like this one here will be around like D+8 to D+10. And then moving to Montana, we have Monica Tranel facing against, in a rematch from 2022 against the incumbent Ryan Zink. I believe that this is a crazy sleeper flip. Nope, not that district. That is safe Republican. I believe that this is a crazy sleeper flip. It was only R+3 in 2022, which was a crazy underperformance from Ryan Zink. And I believe, honestly, that Monica Tranel can flip the race. Just because she is, just for a few reasons. First of all, Ryan Zink only won by 3 points in an R+2 national environment. And I expect the national environment here to be around D+2. So that is change, which would be enough for him to lose. But aside from that, you've also got Jon Tester, which helps Democrats organize turnout in Montana because they've actually got a competitive race there. And I believe that is going to help Democrats turn out and end up voting for Monica Tranel as well while they're voting for Jon Tester. Because I believe Jon Tester is going to win this district by a pretty decent margin even if he loses the overall Senate race. So yeah, I believe that this district is actually going to flip. Although I know this is kind of like against what a lot of people are saying. I just think it's what makes the most sense personally. But it could easily go red. This is kind of like a little bit out there for me, but it is a risky pick, and I'm gonna stick with it. Next, moving to Washington. This is an extremely competitive race. Washington's 3rd congressional district. You've got Marie Gluesenkamp Perez going in a rematch against Joe Kent. His campaign is a lot better than 2022, and he is considered the favorite now by a lot of places. But Gluesenkamp Perez was underestimated in 2022 by a ton. This was I believe, likely Republican district that she flipped, and I believe the same will happen here. I do not think it will be to the same amount that she is underestimated, but I do still think she will be underestimated. And they're just rerunning candidates like Joe Kent, who are kind of extremist, not really a good idea from the Republicans. And I believe Marie Gluesenkamp Perez will hold on by 1 point. That brings the Democrats to 1 seat away from a majority, a seat which they will get in Oregon. There are 2 competitive House races in Oregon. This one, I believe, actually will be likely Democrat. This one, a flip, will be lean Democrat, giving Democrats the edge in the House. First of all, Oregon's 6th congressional district was D+4. in 2022. I believe just because the national environment is shifting to the left, it will be enough to make the race likely, especially because you had a lot of down ballot effects that were positive for Republicans in Oregon, much like what you saw in New York because of governor's elections. And we are not having those extremely competitive governor's elections in these normally safe Democratic states anymore. You are having presidential turnout, which is enough to shift states like New York and Oregon to the left. And I believe that will have a positive effect on House Democrats in New York and in Oregon. So I think that this race is going to be likely, and I think that there is going to be a flip here with Michelle Bynum unseating Lori Chavez DeRemer in Oregon's 5th congressional district. I think that she will win by around 2 to 3%. And next, we have the state of Alaska. This is an interesting one because you had a upset in a special election where Mary Peltola actually beat Sarah Palin and Nick Begich in 2022. And then you had her win re-election by, I believe, 5 points. No, she won re-election by 10 points, which is just insane for Alaska. And I believe she's on track to repeat that. I know she's not really considered the favorite by a lot of people, or even a lot of people are saying she's not going to win by more than 5. I think she's going to win by 5. She is constantly underestimated. And she is now the strong incumbent. She is endorsed by the NRA. She is endorsed by Lisa Murkowski. And I think she's got a great shot. There are a lot of split ticket voters, a lot of bipartisan voters in Alaska that I think will vote for Donald Trump at the top of the ticket and for Mary Peltola at the bottom. And then there was one state left, the state of California. This is an interesting one. It takes them so long to report their votes. They've got so many interesting congressional districts. There are 6 competitive races here, 5 that are currently occupied by Republicans, 1 by Democrats. And so let's just get into them. So the first district here is California's 13th district, which I believe will be a flip for Democrats. The reason that John Duarte won in 2022 was just because of low turnout. And this year we are seeing a rematch. And I believe that Adam Gray will win this by around 2 points, just because now there is presidential level turnout, and that will be enough to carry him over the finish line. And the next district that I have for Democrats is California's 22nd congressional district. This one is kind of is in a similar region. It is more Republican compared to California's 13th, and the incumbent David Valadao has been it has been more moderate in Congress, and I think that will really help him, and he can seriously win. But I just do not think it is enough. We had an Emerson poll come out showing him behind by around 2 points, and I think that kind of holds, and he loses by a tilt margin. And now we have a big one, which is California's 27th. Ryan Garcia is kind of a California Republican legend. He has survived every time he has been underestimated. He survived 2020, he survived in 2020 again, he survived in 2022, winning in 2022 by 6.5 points. But I think it's the end of the road for him. I think he is going to lose re-election by a tilt margin. He is just falling behind. He's getting outspent, and I do not think he has enough to hold on. I think he's going to lose. And now, moving into the Los Angeles area. There are 3 competitive districts here, a lot of which are in very Vietnamese strong areas, like what you see here in California's 45th. Michelle Steele is running for re-election here in this largely Vietnamese kind of conservative community. Her opponent, Derek Tran, is actually a good candidate. I believe he will make the race considerably close and extremely competitive. I can easily see a flip here, but I just do not think it is enough. I believe the race will be around R+3 when it's all said and done, and I believe Michelle Steele will win re-election. And the next race here is California's 41st, which is the incumbent, Ken Calvert, is in a rematch from 2022 against Will Rollins. He won by 4.5 and in 2022, and I believe he will only win by a tilt margin this time around, just because there's more turnout and the national environment is shifting to the left. But I do still think he will hold on, but it will be by a very, very, very narrow margin, and I could see an easy upset here. And the final district on the map, California's 47th. It was once held by Katie Porter, who is now is not running for re-election to run for Senate, kind of like what Elisa Slotkin did here in Michigan. And I think that Democrats have put a lot of funding into here. I believe David Min is a good candidate, and I think he can win. I think he will win by a lean margin, although this is a possible flip for Republicans. And this is my map. Democrats are at 224 seats to the Republicans 211. I believe Democrats have like a 65% chance of winning the House. They are heavily favored because there are just too many House Republicans that are not on track to win at all. Republicans have some pickup opportunities, like in California's 47th, in Michigan's 7th, but I just do not think it is enough to hold the House. I do think that a lot of these races could go for Republicans that I have flipping, like the Iowa districts, depending on if the Seltzer poll is actually accurate, or Montana's first. All of those could easily just stay Republican. But as of now, this is my final map. It's extremely interesting to see how that Seltzer poll will affect the national environment. I genuinely do not know what people are thinking about this. It is an absolute bombshell. We just have to see what will happen. I'm so excited for Tuesday to see if this will actually pan out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow, my final presidential election prediction. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry if this one was a bit rushed. It's really late, and I was staying up all night for that Seltzer poll, and we finally got it. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.